So Matt Webb, you just presented some of the great experiments that you've done. Mixing AI with autonomous agents, AI with hardware. Where do you get all these ideas? What is your process?
My curiosity is about how we're going to collaborate, humans and AI, in the future. And this is like my favorite point in technology S-curve because we don't know. We've got 20 years of experience with digital telling us the wrong things. How do we figure out? We roll our sleeves up and we make stuff. So really my process is making the dumbest thing possible, looking at it, going, oh, that's interesting, and then making the next thing. But then also just getting inspired by everyone else who's doing the same thing. There's a great community exploring this.
Yeah, where do you find this community these days? Are they on Twitter? Where are these people that you sort of interact with?
I think we call it X now.
No, we don't. We certainly don't. I don't know what you call it. I certainly don't.
The community on X or Twitter or whatever is fantastic. It's the best place I've found where people are sharing demos and what they're up to. And then also a couple of private Discords and Slacks, which I think is where a lot of the action is moving, which is quite sad, actually. But and then the other place is conferences like this. You need to find people who are actually making things and thinking about them. And just kind of seeing like where are people's curiosity, and that I find is like where we can start.
Nice. You made the point that AI isn't really something that we should just view as making us more efficient or more fast at our jobs, but it's like a collaboration between the human and the machine. But you also like to embody these AIs as sort of like as personalities. Do you have any fun ones you'd like to share?
So at the moment, I'm working on manufacturing a clock that tells the time with a new poem every single minute composed by ChatGPT. That is 500,000 poems a year, which I believe is the highest poem velocity of any embodied device on any bookshelves anywhere in the world, which is maybe quite a small Venn. Mm-hmm. I think where a lot of my research has been recently is in toy agents. So I'm working on an agent which can control a smart home. It's working on a simulation at the moment. I want to bring that into the real world. And I'm looking forward to kind of crossing these two streams. What are the more sophisticated uses of AI, and how do we bring that into spaces that are inhabited by ourselves, our colleagues, our families, in ways that are non-creepy and non-spying? And I think that's going to be the really interesting challenge there.
Thank you. So this has been Future Frontend 2024, but going 2025, hopefully we'll have you back. What would you like to see have happened in the world, between now and then, in the industry, in AI in particular? What does the next year look like in your sort of dreams?
I think I would like to see AI no longer being magical. I think the chase after AGI, these kind of like super intelligent, even assistants is interesting. Not for me. I'm more interested in how do we turn it into Lego bricks. So what are the small tools that anyone can pick up to start combining, agents and smart systems and generation, and we can all make different applications and tools. And I'd like us to be thinking quite hard about what the correct abstractions are and what are the kind of the open source frameworks that we can use to, make that kind of next level of imagination possible. And that kind of feels like where we are at the moment. So I'm pretty optimistic about that.
Nice. And then final question. One of my favorite things that you make is your blog, Interconnected. I read that regularly. Do you use any AI tools in part of either your research or the output, or is it all straight from brain to keyboard?
So I'm very old school with my blog. I've been writing on there for 24 years now, right? And my process is that I capture anything I see interesting. I put it down on paper, and then every so often I try and join together two dots, and usually that process of writing takes me somewhere new. So the blog, I think, quite unusually is kind of, for me, it's more like a kind of a sketchbook in the open rather than other people. And I find just the old school process of cranking out the characters does very well for that.
Yeah, I love the name of your studio, your current project, Acts Not Facts. I think it embodies this idea of like thinking through making. Would you like to say a few words about that?
Yeah, I think one of the things about technology today is that things that used to be very hard have become very, very easy. But we're not really sure what, right? So, for example, I was, working on something that should have taken 4 days to build. I know from experience with old technology it would have taken 4 days. And I realized at the outset that I could do it with GPT and run it overnight. Took 20 minutes to write the code, cost me $30 on my credit card. So 4 days down to 20 minutes. How do you discover that those things are possible? not by thinking really hard about it or post-it notes or whiteboards. You find it out by rolling your sleeves up and by making stuff. And the material itself, the code, the AI, sort of you almost feel out what it can do and what the possibilities are. And that's what Acts Not Facts is about for me. Just make stuff, see where it takes you.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thanks, Matt.